What happened between the hours of 6:50 and 9 o'clock? Because truly, I had to have missed something.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. I actually had to come in. I did a video yesterday, and I actually had approached the whole YouTube beef situation and all of that stuff. And um, what I'm going to say here is timing and hindsight. That's what I'm going to say, and that's what we're actually going to talk about. And actually, being big enough to say when you are wrong about some things, because I was actually wrong about some things, and I want to come in and actually talk about the things I was wrong about and actually make those things right. So that is actually what this video is about. So in essence, it's still about YouTube beefs and that kind of thing, and just what happened. So let's talk about the time lapse. Okay, so yesterday I actually I did the video. I talked about the things I wanted to talk about, and said what I had to say, and pretty much stands in it. Now, the thing is, I was out yesterday, so I'm usually around, and I could do a blab. I do a blab on Friday nights, usually with Squeaky Jones, and most times I'll stop through S. Hutchison's blab before Squeaks gets started. Well, I didn't do that this week. I was actually out at a function. Is actually where I was. I was out at a function. I was out having a good time, and I had gotten a message, that tells me that that there was, I get a message through my phone telling me that I had people hitting the video that I had done, and that kind of thing. So I had gotten messages, really nice message from Naay Way, and also from S. Hutchison. So whatever I came back in, I got on Blab. Now it was late at this point. It's like 2 in the morning, when I came back, and people were still on Blab. But I checked to see if everybody was on there. Squeaky and them were gone. But as Hutchison and them were actually on. So I clicked in, and that's where I actually seen them. And they're like, hey, we were like sending messages for you, and this, that, thing, the other people wanted to talk with you, and that kind of thing. And I was like, oh, okay, no problem. Which I kind of, that wasn't really strange to me. Wasn't strange to me. But from the atmosphere of the room, I'm saying, it seemed like some people were a little more eager than others, and I kind of figured that anyway, because I kind of figured that Deb Chanel would want to talk to me, and I knew that Tam G might want to speak with me, and that was fast. So it wasn't fast. I was really surprised that Nays Way wanted to speak to me. I didn't get it. I was like, oh, okay, well, no problem. And she was the only one that was actually around at this point. And I was like, okay, so me and Janae actually did. She came on camera. We got the chance to talk. She told me what she thought. And in the meantime, while I'm talking to her, I was clicking in and I'm trying to find the comment that she actually had sent. It was gone. So that was strange. But I didn't say anything. It was strange. So her and we actually had talked, and she kind of just said, I kind of I thought that some of the video stuff that you were saying, I thought it was about me, and I thought, you were talking about me, and I reassured her, no, absolutely not, darling. I was talking about what I was talking about, and where I was talking about you, I said your name, and that was the only thing. So anything else that seemed that way, that wasn't that way. It wasn't a subliminal. It wasn't anything like that. And we were good. Her and we were good. So that was that. And I was, uh, it was very evident from some people over in the comments and some other folks that Deb Chanel really wanted to talk to me. As a matter of fact, she had to showed her goddamn ass again for the most part. And then they were saying, Tam wanted to talk, and they were trying to get Tam, couldn't get her. It was kind of late, so she probably was asleep or something. So it was like, okay, cool. Same thing with as Hutchinson and I, we talked, and we always have open line of communication. There was no problem, and she laughed about certain things, and she was like, "No, I didn't think you meant any harm or anything like that." And we went on, and there was no problem, so everything was cool. But when I got off the blab, and I was on blab for a couple hours after that, we took with folks, and we laughed and keyed and carried on like we usually do. And then I was told, definitely make sure that you watch the playback. Definitely make sure you watch the playback. So I did actually watch the playback. And boy, I was shocked. Now, I was shocked, to say the least, at this playback because there was no hint of hostility or anything. Honey, in this playback, it was just something else. I sat and I literally watched because I wanted to make sure I didn't jump to the conclusions. And I sat and I watched that playback for about an hour and 20 minutes. And there was a complete hostility and disdain that was in the Hollywood squares while I was being spoken about. And I said, interesting. That's interesting. So it's probably really a good thing that I didn't come right on camera or that I wasn't available because that none of that would have went well. None of it would have went well because of the way that people were and their attitudes and how they felt and that kind of thing. If they had got the chance to talk to me, if they would have been talking the way that they were talking when I wasn't there, of course we would have did like this. We would have clashed. We would have clashed. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you that I was wrong. I'm glad that with Naay's Way that there was time in between. Okay, I'm glad there was time in between, and I don't know what happened because at right around 7 o'clock in the evening, she was feeling cool. By the time that blab started at 9, she was on some other shit at that point. And, it was all, she thought I was really petty and I was throwing subliminal messages and thought maybe I was attacking her and maybe I was doing it to take up for somebody else. And it was really out there. And I'm like, no, none of that was actually true because one, I would never make a video attacking anybody about someone else. So that really wasn't it. But anyway, so and then like I said, some hours went by the time we actually did get a chance to talk. So it was just good that time had fell in there. So me and Janae, we cool. And, we're cool, but I don't know what that was about. And again, the comment that she left, I'm not going to go through with the receipt thing and all that, reading the comment. The comment she left was a very nice comment, but it's gone. So somewhere in there, I guess she changed her mind about how she was feeling, deleted it, and then came back with some new shit. But then by the time I came, she had switched over again, and we were able to come to, everything was cool. Um, who knows? Anyway, whatever. Um, then let me say this about Tam G. I was absolutely wrong about Tam G. And I discussed that and I was saying, how with Tam, I didn't feel like there was any malicious intent and everything like that. And she wanted, Tam wanted to talk to me, and she made it very clear that she wanted to speak with me. She wanted to speak to me, face to face, so that she could tell me that she doesn't fuck with me. I said, oh, okay. So again, there was a lot of Tamisms there. She was really, at one point she was really, a lot of bravado, a lot of fuck you and fuck this one and fuck that and all that stuff. So again, the timing situation it was probably good because we didn't need to have that type of an exchange because that wouldn't have went well. That was just, and it wasn't even necessary. It really wasn't necessary. So I'm not gonna sit on here and try to defend any of that. It is what it is. I was wrong, and I'm gonna tell you, yes, Tam G, I was wrong. I was wrong about what I said. I'm big enough to say I was wrong. You made comments, and from what I watched in that playback, yeah, there was some malicious intent behind it. No, I didn't tell you that the comment that you made bothered me because, again, like I said, I had just excused you. I excused you from it because I thought you weren't being malicious. But at the end of the day, you really, really were. And you felt a little malicious about it. So I was wrong. And that's cool. And I'm going to leave that there. It is what it is. You don't fuck with me. I'm not going to fuck with you. We ain't got to worry about it. There was no need for us we don't need to meet on Blib and try to have this screaming match back and forth because I ain't even got it to do because there ain't nothing that you're saying that's going to be that important. You don't fuck with me. I'm not going to fuck with you. I ain't going to come where you at and give you no AdSense dollars. And I don't expect you to come anywhere near where I'm at. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. It's just like burning a eulogy, baby. Let it burn. And I'm done with that. Done. Completely done with it. But I will say, I was wrong. I was wrong about you. You were being nasty. Um, Next, let's go on to the whole thing um, with S. Hutchinson. I think we're cool. Everything's fine with us. We basically have a agree to disagree type situation, which is fine. And she thought it best that I be talked to directly instead of, people telling me this and people telling me that. But I actually watched what I watched. I got to watch what was being said for myself. Me and S. Hutchinson are fine. We don't agree, but we're cool and we disagree. I don't feel like I'm a person that is one of those guilty by association kind of people. She doesn't agree. She doesn't agree that that can be done. She feels as though there's been kind of like a side because that was the thing with him. She felt like I chose a side in the situation, and that's fine. We're going to agree to disagree. And my thing is with Shelly, my intent is never to make you feel uncomfortable. And I'll do my best not to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. Because if it's a case of me picking sides, I guess we what side I guess I picked. It is what it is. I'm not willing to leave either one of you. You know what I mean? I'm not willing to say, oh, I ain't fucking with that person because I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. That's not me. But what I will say is I will work my hardest not to make you feel uncomfortable because that's not anything that I ever wanted to do. So I'm gonna leave that right there. Um and the last thing is Deb Chanel. Um well, no. Let me talk about D-Miss first. Everything I said about D-Miss, I meant every motherfucking bit of it. And every bit of it. And he and Tam basically shared the same feelings, and I meant everything I said about D-Miss, and he can take a plane, train, bus, go-kart, or whatever he wants to take straight to hell. And I guess those who feel like riding with him can actually jump on with him. Deb Chanel. I'm gonna go on and admit to being wrong with Deb. I'm going to admit to being wrong. You sat on screen and you were showing your ass yet again. But the thing is, you were really mad and you're sitting around and you're saying, he said I was irrelevant. Did you notice that nobody was really paying that much attention to you? You were just carrying on. They wasn't paying you that much attention. You were having actually a hard time even getting a word in to say the things that you were saying on screen. So, in essence, you kind of did look irrelevant. But let me try not to be too petty. And I'll say, because you said, I called you a nobody, and everybody is somebody. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. Everybody is somebody. Everybody does serve some type of a purpose. And you're right about that, Deb. Um, you said you weren't going to give me any shine. You don't have any shine to give. And that's fine. But I was wrong about you. Everybody is somebody. I'll reiterate. You are a porta potty clown. So you're right. You are somebody. Just not somebody I choose to deal with. And you could really lead the brigade of the people that can go to hell. And right there, I'm done with it. I'm done with this. I'm done with the situation. It is what it is. And I'm glad that I was able to look at things and I was able to see things for exactly what it was. And it was said, I won't know how things are with friendships and things like that until I get burned. Tell you, between the hours of 7 and 9, got a little hot, got a little hot. So, whatever. Remember, that's what y'all said. And I did. It was a little burning, honey. It was a lot of a flip. I just didn't understand it. Hindsight is 2020, but boy, I mean, all that off and on, it's just whatever. But it's cool. So everything's everything, everything cool. It is what it is, and I'm done with it. And I will talk to y'all whenever. Well, some of y'all I won't talk to, but see y'all when I see y'all out there in them YouTube streets. It is what it is. Later.